This video is a cannabis growing edutainment created for viewers aged 18 and over. By continuing to watch, you confirm that you are 18 years of age or older. All activities depicted in this video are conducted in compliance with our laws here in Canada. Oh hey, don't forget to watch to the end of this video for funny bloopers and dumb stuff. Okay, now we know you're a grown-up. Welcome to Grow Daddy TV.
I'm on! Hey everybody, I'm Grow Daddy, aka Patrick, and welcome to Grow Daddy TV Studios, because you've made it. Yeah, you have. You've made it to season 10, episode 14. And I gotta tell you guys something. The girls are looking great. They can't wait to see you. And they're getting big. They've been eating a lot. Oh my God, they can't wait to see you guys. They've been clamoring for you guys all week long. Hey, hope you guys had a great weekend. I know this is Sunday, still got some weekend left. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, and hope you guys are enjoying the show this morning. We got a lot to go over today, a lot to go over. We got new seeds, we got what I did in the tent this week. We got look at the stack of notes I got.
Yeah,
so
we got some science.
We do, so you guys, I'm telling you guys right now, roll one up, put a little something in the bowl, grab yourselves a cup of coffee, and get ready just to sit back, relax, and enjoy our show. So let's get busy. Come on. I know we have people coming into the show new that have never been here before, and I want to tell those folks exactly how we do our show and what to expect throughout our show, because I know you guys are waiting to see the girls close up. You're not getting a really good picture from back there. I can promise you that.
Waiting for the weed porn?
Yeah, we got a weed porn segment where we take you guys really close and personal with these buds, and I'll tell you what, they're getting really, really nice nugs, and they're looking really good. And I gotta tell you guys something, we're a 4-plant grow here in Canada, we're only growing 4, so if you've come to your normal YouTube show where they have tents and tents of stuff, it ain't gonna happen here. This is, I would have to say, this is more of a...
it's a grow journal.
It's a grow journal that I do weekly, and I'm actually starting to really use this as a grow journal because I'm going back and looking at the seasons prior, you know, and comparing them with where they are at this stage.
Doing a little science.
Yeah, and we also have a lot of science. We're all about writing everything down, and we have, in the description, we have a spreadsheet that's got every deciliter of water I put on these girls throughout every day. I've got all the amendments that I put in the soil, and we're just basically, this is the easiest grow in the world, you guys. So if you're beginning and you like what I'm doing, this is the easiest way to grow, you guys. It is. It really is. Miss Grow Daddy laughs, but that's...
It's kind of like a scrogless scrog. It's like different from the way a lot of YouTube growers grow.
Well, you know what? People do that. People do grow them this way. I really was referring to us just growing the tops like we do. We don't grow stuff down, and we're really looking for a no larf grow. We don't want larf. All we want, and we talked about this earlier, Mrs. Grow Daddy, we want A buds. And we look at it we got A buds, B buds, and C buds. A buds are the real hard bud up on top. And then you've got B bud, maybe slightly below those buds, you'll have some B bud that will have, it won't be larfy, and you won't be embarrassed to give it away because it'll still be nice bud, but it's still a little looser. Not that tight, good looking bud that we like to grow in the tent. And then of course, under that, or what we call larf, that's the leafy stuff that you're gonna be embarrassed to give that away. And most people are saying, I think in the comments, most people say, what's wrong with larf? It's really great for my rosin and for this or that. And my comeback to that is, so isn't dense bud better for your rosin or your tinctures or whatever you're doing?
Yeah, it's just a different strategy. I think you could get maybe an ounce or two more yield at the end if you keep the larf. But we find it a little soul destroying just to have it.
Well, not only that, but it also, I believe that it also from my grows and what I've really examined, and that's why we have a spreadsheet. We've got all of our videos to back up our stuff and what we're talking about, and we really tell you in the end of the video what we're getting for bud, because we want everybody to be as informed and learn as much as we do, because this is a journey. Yeah,
we're just trying to figure it out.
We are. Every grow is different. It's a journey, and you can see what I've changed. And we actually do have a segment we're going to talk about all the changes in the grow this. We do have one of these little pieces of paper here somewhere, so we will get to that. We are an organic grow, and I just do grow 4 plants, and that's enough for me and a few of my friends, a few of my golf buddies, and I'm able to give oil to or give some nice buds to.
And you know what?
It's a really nice gift.
That's why we feel a little bit of pressure about the yield, because at the end of the day, you can be more or less generous with your buds.
True, and I don't like to give away larf, and I also don't like to trim larf. So let's get that out of this. Listen, I realize a lot of you guys are trying to get me to grow down the stem in the comments. I get you guys. You guys just love that maybe that extra half an ounce you get, but it turns some of the denser buds larfier, I believe. I'll get larfier buds on top. I have done grows where I've seen it happen, and I'm confident of it. And trust me, genetically, anything can happen. You can get all dense buds down the stem. Genetically, you can get a lot of that. But we grow different stuff in here. Every single grow, we have different genetics, and we never know what we're growing.
That's why we're so conservative, right? We just kind of grow conservative. We don't take chances because we don't know any of these strains.
We're giving ourselves the best chance at getting hard, dense buds that we love to trim. And when I say we, I won't let Miss GrowDaddy even trim this stuff because I get so much enjoyment out of trimming the hard stuff, right? So I just want to say that. And we try to get, just so you guys know what our yields are, reality yield. This is not YouTube reality. YouTube reality and my reality are two different things sometimes. And I think YouTube reality is they're telling you their yield, their full tent yield, their full flower yield, but they're not breaking it down in A, B, or C buds.
Exactly. We do a full breakdown when we do like a yield video.
Yeah, and when I say I'm getting between 5 and 6 ounces a plant and leaning towards 6 ounces on most of the plants that I grow, I'm talking about hard, dense buds of 6 ounces. I'm not talking about 3 ounces of larf or 3 ounces of bee bud and maybe an ounce or two of the real hard stuff. So, all right. Let me talk about the timeline. So now we're running through you guys that just got here. We're running through the time. The guys that come every week, they know what the hell I'm doing. But you guys, I'm pulling you guys in to stay the whole thing and wait for our weed porn and check out our whole show, because you know what? It helps the algorithms. It just does. If you watch more of the show, if you walk out of the room, don't finish the video and don't want to watch anymore,
let it rip.
Help us out. Let the video run. Let it rip to the end, guys. Let's see how good we can do. And let's get those fuck hashtags in the comments. I love it. I absolutely love it. Our timeline in our grow is, we're in the 7th week already, okay? And we're just a couple days into the 2nd week. So we've done 6 weeks and a few days. That's where we are in the timeline. And I also want to let people know, if you want to compare our grows, for some reason, and we didn't do this on purpose, we're synced up with last season. We're at the exact same spot. We're at day 45 of flower. And if you look back,
I think it's episode 15.
Yeah, episode 15 of season 9. It's 45 days. So you'll see exactly the difference. And you know what? Our lighting's a little different. You can't see the buds as good when I'm standing here. And that's okay. That's okay. You guys be patient. There's some buds here if you can't see them because of our lights.
We'll get to our weed porn.
Something's a little different. We will get to our weed porn. 111 days from the start, from when we first got those seeds and put them in some peat pods and started germinating. It's 111 days since we started this journey on this grow. Come on. So let's talk about lights, what we did in the tent this week for lights. And again, for you guys that just got here, we run through everything that we did in the tent this week. So you want to go back and see what I did last week in the tent? Go back to our last video and so on and so forth from the very beginning, you guys. What we did in the tent for light this week, though, I'll tell you. First, I'll start out by telling you guys we're using a Mars Hydro FC 4000 EVO, and they're working real nice. They're made for a 2x4, and they're doing a really good job in here. And I don't know if they're considered a budget light or not. They're not that expensive for lights. I know you can get a lot more expensive lights. I don't know if it's considered a budget light anymore, but nevertheless,
they're really good.
It does the job. It does the job. We're running, and I use a watt meter, and that's how I gauge where I'm at, as far as that. And I'm using 280 watts on the canopy, hanging 15 to 16 inches, you guys. And I'll tell you what, any light you use, if you use the watts that I'm using at this height or a couple inches higher, you're gonna get the same result as far as par. And our par on this is about 800. Right around 800, 850, 800, somewhere in there. That's where our par is on this. No, 800. I think we're right at 800 average. That's kind of an average par.
We average it out at 800.
Yeah, some of the corners are getting less. And we're at 34.5 DLI in the tent. And like I like to say,
it's DLI.
Who gives a shit? DLI is basically how many hours, Mrs. GrowDaddy, how many hours you've got the tent on for, that, daily light, integral. So it'd be, like we're running at 12 right now. And if we were running at 18.6, with our it's going to so much more light the plants will be getting.
The DLI will be way too high.
They'll be getting 4 more hours of that same light, so it would be too high.
Yeah.
A lot of people make mistakes with this because they're trying to grow autos with the same light that photo period growers are using, but the lights are on for 18 hours growing auto, and then you can see them burning the shit out of their plants because they're using too much DLI, not necessarily PAR, although that's what it adds up to. They got to turn down their PAR, but their DLI is too high because they're running their lights 4 hours longer. Lights, I got to tell you, that's our lights in the grow this week, Mrs. Grow Daddy. And I'll tell you what, I got to take a break for a minute, you guys. Okay, I got to take a break. Okay, and I don't know. It's funny on film day, I don't get to play golf. I don't get to play golf, but I miss it. So I brought my club in here so I could look at it, but now I'm kind of feeling like I'm just going to take one real quick swing, you guys. Hope you guys don't mind. Oh, man, that was a good one. Okay.
Where's your rangefinder?
My rangefinder, I didn't need a rangefinder because I knew the distance because I've played this course so many times. Let's talk about water now, you guys. Now, water in the tent. I'll tell you what, you guys that come here all the time, you guys know how I feel about water. I get excited about water because it's like, and like I said, I think last week, it's like your kids eating. You're always trying to more food, You want your kids to eat because
you want to grow up big and strong.
You're always trying to shove food in their mouth because you want them to be big. You want them to be, especially your boys. You want them to be big and strong. But our girls, we want some beefy girls too. We grow athletes in our tent. Let me tell you guys what. This week's averages for watering, like I was saying, I do get excited about the water for feeding, because it feeds our girls. Our girls are still drinking a lot of water. They're drinking a little less than they were, but they're drinking water. I got 2.1 liters are going on Heather every single day. That's the weekly average. Fern, she's still up there. This is impressive because our girls weren't drinking as much last season. And you can go back, like I said, our last season is synced up to episode 15. In episode 15 in the 9th season, you go back and check out the different numbers, what the girls are drinking, because we are doing a lot of things different in the tent this week, and we're going to go over those, and maybe those have made a difference. Something has made a difference. So 2.4 for Fern, 2 liters. I'm proud of you, baby. I'm proud of Sage because Sage is drinking 2 liters. She's almost went up in water.
Yeah, she's held her own.
She's held her own. Maybe I think she might have been 1.9 last week. She's almost
2. But
was she 2? Maybe 1. Yeah, she hasn't lost any. And I'll tell you who else is coming through. 2.6 for Ivy. 2.6 liters a day. And to me, when they're drinking this much water still, it still means they're taking up a lot of water and getting fed, and the buds are
nutrients.
I just feel that. And I'll tell you what, 6.5 seems to be. Listen, pH. And we talk about this, but
you're talking about pH here.
We're talking about pH. Yeah, 6.5. I say try to get 6.5, but it's good to fluctuate, but I don't really care. I use some absorbic acid, and we're going to put that, I think
That's vitamin C
Yeah,
powder.
I think we put that right down here, okay?
Yeah,
a picture of it.
Sure.
And basically, it's just white powder. It's just white powder.
Vitamin C powder.
It's vitamin C powder.
Everybody.
And a little pinch will take a whole bathtub of water and take out all the chloramines and all the chlorine. And people do use it for taking baths sometimes.
I put it in my bath. I slip it into your drink sometimes. Into your
Mrs.
water.
Daddy, I don't like it. I don't like things being slipped into my drinks. So my watering habits are usually putting some of that ascorbic acid or vitamin C. I put roughly a little less than a quarter teaspoon into a 5-gallon bucket of water, and it brings my pH down from 75, 76, 78 down to 6.5 or there around. Sometimes I get 6.2. Sometimes I get 0.6, 0.7, I mean somewhere around. But we've got a new average now. We're gonna average, we take all of our pH settings, and our average for the week is 6.5. We've had some 6.2, but our average in the tent this week for our pH is 6.5. And that is our water episode. Our water
segment.
Thank you, Mrs. Grodad. VPD, is it talked about enough? I think so, but we can never talk about it enough on this show. We talk about it every single week, don't we, Mrs. Grodaddy? VPD, it seems like a snobby way of saying what's your environment and what's your temperature in your tent. What's your environment?
Temperature and humidity.
Yeah, that's
just the sweet spot.
Yeah, and that's vapor pressure deficit, and there's a chart. and it's a vapor pressure deficit chart. These numbers that are in the vapor pressure chart are called kilopascals or KPAs, and they're actual numbers that none of us really use or pay attention to, but I do hear people saying them once in a while, like I'm at 1.5. What? What? Let's talk environment, let's talk humidity, let's talk temperature, and now we can have a conversation. Don't tell me what the Ks are, but I don't want any of my new growers that have just come to the channel not to know what this is, because you might hear it out there and you might want to sound like you know what you're talking about. That's all I'm trying to say. So look at the chart, you guys. Sometimes we don't look at the chart.
It's
right?
happened. It's definitely, that's one of the, well, we'll talk about it later.
Well, we have lowered, we can talk about it right now, because we have lowered our humidity this season.
This grow, yeah.
This grow, we've noticed, we were looking, last grow we were at about 60 humidity, 75, 78 temperatures. And I have to, when I say 75, 78 temperatures, I mean 24, 26 Celsius, whichever one you guys want to use. We are in Canada, and I know America is the only country on this planet that uses Fahrenheit and
no, I think Belize uses it.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a couple of outliers.
I'm kind of surprised every once in a while when I hear of a country that uses the American dollar. Like, was it Colombia?
Bermuda does.
No, we had.
Oh, Ecuador.
Ecuador uses USD money. It's kind of weird to hear of another country using our money as their as
currency. Their only Ecuador. That's the only currency, I think.
Yeah. So at any rate, all I'm trying to say is we're running at 50%, 45, 50%, 75 to 78 temperatures at this point in the grow. Actually, most of the flower, after about the third week, I want to get things situated at this humidity and temperature. Last grow, this is great, us going back and looking at things we did or didn't do. Last grow, we were at 60%, right? Little high after looking at the chart. And that's what we're going back to. We're going back to the VPT chart that we don't look at, but we tell everybody else to.
Yeah.
We looked at it and we said, hey, we got to drop our numbers down to be in where we need to be.
I find the chart, it's kind of tricky to use in some ways. I wish there were a better calculator.
I think it works because, and the reason why it works is if you're in the ballpark, you're doing great. If you're not in the ballpark, you're still doing great. Your plants aren't just they're not going to photosynthesize quite as well. So if you're feeding and giving the proper light to your girls, it's not going to cause any deficiencies. It's just going to slow them down, their growth down a little bit, not much, which you don't want to do in flower. You want to have your shit really on point in flower. And veg, who gives a shit if they grow slower? You're just another week or two of veg, right? That's all that is, no big deal. Flower, try to get your humidity and your temperatures where you want them. Some people, hey, this is where I got it, you guys. This is my log, and I'm going to do things the way I want to. I know a lot of you guys are a lot higher in temperatures and maybe lower in humidity in your room, and we can't dial our humidity down anymore because of
where we live.
Everybody's got their own environment issues, whether it be in a hot, dry climate or a wet, cool climate, which we're in a wet, cooler climate. But it's not too cool in this little grow room because I'll tell you what, I got to open my door. I don't have any air coming in and out. I got to open my door.
Oh, this is your 3-finger HVAC hack.
Let me talk about it, okay? We talk about it at least once a season, but it's my 3-finger, 4-finger, sometimes, sometimes fist. But let's talk about it. So if I need to get the room to cool down, to get the room to cool down, I got cool air in the rooms in the bottom floor, other than this room, right? So I just crack this door, and I either crack it 1-finger, 2-finger, 3-finger. But
no,
you got 3-finger.
That's not how you do it.
Oh, that's not how you do it because they object sometimes to that. But fist? No, don't use your fist. No, I do use my fist, and sometimes I even use my fist. And then when I've got it in the door where I can see, sometimes I open it up, right, like that, and then I can kind of see the distance.
Yeah.
But this is probably more acceptable than this. This would be kind of tough to get in the door. You know what I'm saying, Mrs. Grodaddy, right?
I've got no idea.
So that's how I get air in here, depending on how warm it is or hot it is. I have to open that door, and this is how I do my measurement on the door, with my fingers. You know what I'm saying, right? Like a bowl. Okay.
That's about enough.
Let me go over what we're doing differently in the tent today. On day 45 of flower.
This is us kind of dialing it in, kind of fine-tuning the grow, because like you said, we've kind of got a style and a methodology, but we make little changes.
And we're actually, this season for the first time, we're actually looking at our older material. our older videos, our older spreadsheets, and we're looking at what we did differently, what we can improve on, and what we can do differently. And we make these changes to see if they work, if they don't work, if something good happens.
This is citizen science.
It is citizen science, exactly, and it's right there in the spreadsheet, you guys. Everything. Just download our spreadsheets. It has the last 5 grows or something, last 5 seasons, and it has our soil recipes. It has every time we put any nutrients in here. It's all in the spreadsheet. Although we do put most. If you want to run through our videos, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to add one more view to each of our videos.
our crappy old videos.
Yeah, make sure and like, subscribe, and do all that stuff if you guys go that far. So let me go down. More par. Yeah, we're running about 50 more par than we were at 7. Let's say we're saying 800 this season, right? Par. Well, last season we were running at 750. We used to say 750, 800. But when
750 to 775, I think we could crank out of that sometimes.
We're using the same watts, right? But we dropped our light down a couple inches, and I figured, this is what I figured, that every 2 inches you drop that light down, it's giving you about 50 more par. Not every 2 inches. Like if I rose this light up, I would get about 50 less.
You're
like
right, you're right.
Yeah.
2 inches.
Yeah, you're damn right. We top dressed this. We top dressed 3 weeks into flower. We top dressed. Last season we did not. We ran into problems last season because we didn't do a top dressing.
Stingy daddy.
At this time in the grow, I know I was a little stingy, but I'm trying something to see if we had enough. And at this time in the grow last season, things started to fade. That we started to get some yellower leaves. It started to look like it was going into senescence.
Yeah.
A little too early maybe, and that's what I thought at the time, but it was just too late in the grow to add a top dressing. We just let it run. Everything went fine. Everything looked beautiful, but look at the difference. There isn't any yellow or anything, and I'll tell you what, there's no tip burn, or very, very, very a little bit of it, this is really, see, this is what we noticed when we're doing this, is last season we ran low on nutrients and we had a little tip burn.
Yeah, we always thought the tip burn was from too much nutrients.
Isn't that funny? That's what we're being told, but this is citizen science. We don't necessarily go by what we're hearing from other YouTubers. We're actually doing the work. We're putting the stuff down. Calling it like we see it. And I gotta tell you what, we put a top dressing on, everything is green as can be, and there's no tip burn. Isn't that, and we're at the same place.
This might be the
comparison between last grow and this grow, amazing, absolutely amazing. And another thing that we're also doing is we've had no gnats.
Yeah.
This season, what I did was I took all of my soil just to make sure I didn't have any gnats. This is the second season since my grow, since I haven't had gnats. And the 2 times that I've had it's because I dried out all of my soil.
Wait. Last season we did have gnats.
We did. No, I had a season quite a while ago that I didn't have gnats in.
Oh, yeah. But usually we get them.
We always get them because I don't dry out the soil enough, or I don't dry out the soil. Well, I'm making a conscious effort to make sure not bring any soil in here that hasn't been completely dried out first.
Bone dry.
Bone dry. Gnats are gone. Any larvae in the gnats is gone. And we don't have to worry about any gnats in the tent, okay?
Oh, God, it's like heaven on earth in here.
And we really haven't, the whole grow. No gnats. It's been really, really delightful. And there's been no dryback this, because we don't have gnats. Gnats caused us to do several things in the tent. It caused us to do drybacks. It caused us to do bottom waterings because we're trying to get rid of the gnat population.
Yeah, the gnats can only live in the top couple inches of soil, and they do
like the top 3 inches.
Yeah, they need moisture, and so if you dry out the top,
it dries out the larvae
eggs,
or whatever. It dries out the larvae, and they don't come up, and you don't get it. So that's one way to combat your gnats, is to do dryback on your girls, or bottom water, because the water doesn't go all the way up to the top when you dry back. The first few inches, the top inches don't have any water, and generally speaking. No bothering, and
so this grow you've been able to just like top water every single
day. It's been top watered every single day. I haven't missed a day. It's been top watered with nothing but pH'd water with a little bit of vitamin C or ascorbic acid, as if you'd like to say. Oh, I said it right the first time. And that's all I really put in my water. And so really, this is a no frills grow, you guys, by the way, too. We don't sell you guys a bunch of gimmicks.
Oh yeah, the vitamin C powder is pretty cheap too.
And not to mention that little bottle. Let me show you the bottle, hang on.
Years and years.
Okay, here we go. Right there. I think I bought this my first or second grow. That was 4 years ago. Now, I'm down here. I'm gonna have to buy something here in the next year or two because I'm down here now.
Yeah, and I use it for my sourdough starter water, and I use it for my bathtub sometimes, and I slip it into your drink sometimes. And I slip it.
Don't tell me that, Mrs. Grodaddy.
Drinking water in the pitcher, I do.
Don't tell me that, Mrs. Grodaddy.
The chlorine and the chloramines, baby. You don't want to drink that.
So here's another thing we think is a little different. Okay, for our canopy is a little thicker on top. Okay, you notice? It's a little more. Now, I keep on taking leaves from the bottom every day. I take one to snap off a couple leaves I think aren't getting any light or really don't matter. So our canopy, every week that goes by, you see our canopy getting a little bit more like this, right?
Yeah, you didn't lollipop it up as high this time.
But it's starting to look higher because I keep on taking leaves. But nevertheless, if you look at our last season's grow at this time, you'll see a lot shorter still. You'll see a shorter canopy on it.
Thinner canopy?
Yeah, so that's different. We'll see how that works. Maybe that's why they're drinking more water at this point. Because they got more leaves and more, I don't know. But like I said, citizen science, we do something, we see what happens, and we kind of...
Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Oh, we love hearing from you guys in the comments about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, smarty pants.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of smarty pants is out there, but unless you're growing on the top, as far as I'm concerned, not that smart. No, I'm just joking with you guys. Grow those beautiful plants because I like to go and see them. I love all those buds on that stem. They're just beautiful, beautiful flowers. I don't care if it gets you high or not. I don't care if you're embarrassed to give it away or not. It's beautiful. Nevertheless, it's beautiful.
The photography is great. And you know, wait, the Discord. You know, if you have some gorgeous looking buds that you want to show off, hey, join our Discord. There's a link in the description.
You do not need gorgeous buds, Mrs. Grodaddy, to go into our Discord.
Help, if you want
For God's sake, we get guys with on their first or second grow that come into our Discord, and they get lots of help in there with guys. I'm always there for a question, kind of. I don't go in there very often, but if you at Mr. Grodaddy, I will get a message that somebody said something about me on my Discord, and I'll go in and I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. I try to stay out of the way. Right? I just try to stay out of the way in there.
We've got very, very smart growers in there, and everyone's really supportive. It's such
friendly.
A nice community.
And friendly.
Yeah, nice community.
And seeing the names that have been in there for a while.
Yeah.
For me, from when they first started growing.
Yeah, God, you guys are like our old friends growing.
Not only that, but I remember them barely being able to start plants. I mean, just growing so shitty, and now they're growing some beautiful gardens.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is worth me having the Discord for you guys to go to. It doesn't cost anything, you know, to go in there, and I just think it's really awesome.
It's a wonderful community.
It really is.
We love you, Gromies.
We do. And one other thing we were doing last grow, I was cheating and using my dehumidifier water. Yeah, my dehumidifier puts out water, right?
It's called technically condensate.
Yeah, it condensates water. Well, it also grabs the air around it. It does. So you get stuff. Listen, I've read a lot of stuff about it. I don't know enough about it, but we thought, hey, maybe this stuff wasn't good for our grow last season, because we immediately, when I was using that dehumidifier water, we really stopped using water, a lot of water.
Well, the girls sort of slowed right down.
They slowed down or something. So I thought maybe it's the but I don't know. We just don't use it anymore. We took it out of the equation. So no more dehumidifier water for us, which we just take it out of the equation. If that's a question, we'll just not be so lazy, and I'll go to the sink and I'll get my water. It was real easy for me just to pour my dehumidifier water and use that and not have to leave the room.
We thought, hey, great, this is just like distilled water. You know, it's like, what could the problem be? There's plenty of nutrients in the soil, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But they did not like it.
And of course, we did change our humidity this season. We went from running about 60% humidity in flower to 45% humidity. And that's what we're doing. I think that's the good direction to go to, too. And we did all of our flowers last grow, which aren't showing yet on episode 15, season 9. They're not showing foxtailing. Yeah. They're not showing foxtailing yet, but they did all foxtail. And we don't know if that's something we did with the environment or if they were genetically prone to do that. It's definitely usually from putting too much light on them, they'll foxtail, and we know that's not the problem.
We know that's not it.
No, look at the leaves, look at the plants.
Any scientist can try and tell me that, and I'm gonna hope they're talking to my hand.
Yeah. Yeah, so at any rate, those are the differences in the tent. I invite you guys to go back and look at those, you know, a video from, and check it out yourself. It's kind of cool to see the difference in diversity. Oh, and I really got to talk about this, you guys. I know the video is getting really long at this point, but you know, it's a long video, right? Look at this. Quebec Cannabis Seeds sent us all kinds of swag. We got all kinds of swag, and we also got some cannabis seeds, okay, you guys? So we're gonna do something fun this season, and I'll tell you what it is. I got 4 of them that I wanted to grow, okay? And they sent me, I don't know, like 7 or 8 different varieties, right?
I think there's 7 strains. I think you
7 strains?
requested 4 strains, and I think they sent us 7 different strains.
Yeah, and gave us a pile of each strain. I mean, I got enough seeds for an army here. But I'll tell you guys what. What I decided to do is say, you know, I'm gonna grow 3 of my favorite strains. Maybe one of your favorite strains is gonna make it into the 4th, but I'm not gonna tell you what strains are my favorite. That's what I'm not gonna do. And we're gonna have a poll. We're gonna have a poll on the community tab.
Grow Me's Choice.
And we're gonna leave it up there until we actually start next season. So the community tab's gonna, so you guys have plenty of time to do some research, decide what you want me to grow in the tent, what specifically, and everyone who gets, you know, the most votes, I'm gonna grow that strain, okay?
Yeah, take a look at all the strains over at Quebec Seeds. I'll put some links, and guess what? I'm gonna actually, they might even give us a discount code. If they do, I'll slip it in here.
We're gonna try to get a discount code for you guys,
for
okay?
you guys. And but check out all the strains, and if there's one that you think is like you'd really love to see us grow, let us know.
Yeah, and let me go through what we have, just so you guys can get an idea. But we will have it listed on the community tab, you guys. This one is frosted gelato. Okay, that's frosted gelato, and we have QC Blue. Sounds very interesting. QC, that's definitely
Cannabis Blue.
Yeah, I know they have their own. That's pretty kind of cool, right? And we have now. I got to tell you about this. Now I might give away what I picked and what's definitely going to be one of the 3 that's going in there. And I had this.
Showing your hand.
I am showing my hand a little bit. This is biscotti. Okay, this is biscotti. I had that when I was in Vegas and really thought it was really good. When I was in Vegas, I bought it, and I don't go to dispensaries, so I don't get a lot of choices of flavors. But that was really, really good when I was in Vegas. That was really good. And we've already grown this one, and they sent us this. This is Fruity OG, okay?
Fruity OG Kush.
Fruity OG Kush. You know, we're growing differently. I'm willing to grow that again because it turned out really nice, but I think I could do a better job on it than we did on it. If I'm thinking straight, I want to say it.
Small bud syndrome.
Well, yeah, it was the small bud syndrome. The whole episode, the whole grow was small bud syndrome. They all came out really nice, but I want to say they may have.
We're open to growing it again.
We are, if that's the one picked. I don't care. I'll grow it again. Mimosa. That's another one, you guys. Mimosa, and see, they got another one. Quebec Cannabis Seeds. Black Bud. Black Bud. Okay. Black Bud. Okay. All right. That sounds interesting. I don't know. Black Bud. And I can't help but let my hand out. This is definitely getting grown too. I've never grown one. Runts.
Oh my God, they're so famous. We see all these hybrids.
Everybody's growing them. I got to find out what it tastes like. I got to find out what it's like because I know nothing about it. And like I said, I don't buy from the dispensaries unless I'm traveling, so I don't get to taste a lot of different buds. Of course, a friend of mine's always sparking stuff up, but you know, he's getting those pre-rolls, and you know what the pre-rolls are. It's the larf and crap. It's the larf and it's the larfy crap that doesn't taste as good as the top shelf buds, and it's all just okay. It's all just okay. I mean, some of this stuff is just some of my smoke. To me, the flavor and the taste are just so more expressive, and I would like to say it's because it's the top shelf. And runts, unbelievable. But I gotta tell you, when we went to Coachella, and let me give you guys a little something. So we went to Coachella. I didn't sleep the first night because we got into the airport late. We got in about midnight, so all the dispensaries were closed. So the next day we went to the dispensaries and we pre-rolls, but they were all, they had like a hash, not hash, but pollen, what do you call it? Sift, I'm thinking of all the different, keef, yes. They had sticky stuff on them, dipped or whatever they were, and then they had the keef all over them, and they were so flavorful. They were harsh though. So I'm guessing, here's me, they were using really good keef. I don't know what they did, but that stuff was, the flavor on them, I don't think that flavor was natural. That's how much flavor they had. They were really, really tasty, really good, but they...
I look askance at anything from a dispensary these days.
Look, there's one more hiding in here. There's one more hiding in here. Is it one we already have? I mean, just stuff they sent me. They even sent me a little pipe.
Yeah, thank you, Quebec Cannabis Seeds. You guys were so generous. And we
stickers.
Really appreciate it.
They sent me all kinds of stuff. And I'm sorry, you guys, I don't do giveaways. I just don't want to get into the mailing of things.
Oh, the mailing.
But you know what? Maybe we'll talk to Quebec and see if they want to do any prizes and they want to send them. Yeah, I just don't want to get into mailing stuff.
To do a collab.
We definitely can't mail them to the U.S.
No.
And we talked about this earlier. I only have 5% of my viewers are Canadian. We dropped off 2 or 3% when Trump said something about making a new state. I think we dropped off. You know, you guys know I'm American. I'm proud to be here, you guys. Just to let you guys know, I love Canada. I do love the U.S. And
there's enough room in our hearts for both countries.
I think so.
And I think you and I, Grow Daddy, we're trying to keep the border relations cool and good.
Well, we try several times a week. We try to keep those relations good. And you want to know what that is? That is all the seeds. That is absolutely all the seeds, you guys. So check out the community tab and
take the poll.
Take the poll. Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is, Mrs. Grow Daddy? It is weed porn time. Let's go check out the girls. You guys have been waiting a long time today for this. And trust me, if you think you could see it from back there, you can't. We discovered that our lighting is different and you can't see all these buds from back there. So they're kind of hiding. So let's go take a look at them. Let's go check out tent 1. Come on. Welcome, you guys. We have finally made it. I know it was a long intro. But I'll tell you what, we have made it to tent 1 in our porn segment. Let's go take a look at the girls. Come on. Oh man, we have Heather, our strawberry, our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds on the left, and Fern from TERPYZ, Mutant Genetics, Afghan Kosher on the right. Oh, look at that canopy, Mrs. Grow Daddy. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's take a close look at Heather though. Come on. Hello, Heather. Heather is our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds, and I gotta be honest with you, she's looking splendid. Her color's great. As you can see, her leaves are kind of mixed in the tent, but for the most part, a lot of these leaves are up and praying for the most part, and they look absolutely beautiful. There's not a lot, you can see a little bit. Look at the tip of one of these, Mrs. Grow Daddy. There's barely anything on these tips. If you can call that burn, that's what they've kind of got for the most part. As far as tip burn.
A tiny little bit, yeah.
I wouldn't even call that tip burn at this point because it's barely even there. They look absolutely magnificent. Here's a bud that's nice and up in the tent, one of these up here. They look just splendid. They're way up in the canopy, so they're easier to film. Looks really, really good. And here's what they look like up close. Oh my goodness, loaded with trichomes. Let me show you kind of what the bud will look like on, say, the one you were just looking at, and kind of get in here and kind of look. See?
Wow.
Not too big. Not that big. Just normal size, but those are all going to get heavy.
Yeah.
And I forgot what our bud count was, Mrs. Grow Daddy.
I think she's 39 here.
She's 39. We have 39 buds on top for Fern, and she's looking absolutely beautiful. As you can see, she's frosted up, and with her darker leaf color, it's really sticking out, all the trichomes, all the sugar. She's looking really, really good. And as you can see, a lot of her pistils are starting to go away. This means she's getting a little closer to start looking at. Now we know it's too early to look for us. We know we like a lot of amber on it, but she's looking beautiful. And I'll tell you what, she's come out to play today, hasn't she? Oh my goodness gracious. These buds are looking so delicious. And they smell sweet and as beautiful as I remember the Shiskaberry smelled on the one that I grew a few seasons ago, and that's why she's back in the tent, looking really good. Let's go take a look at Fern, our Afghan Kosher in the tent next door. Come on. Hello, Fern. Fern is our Afghan Kosher from TERPYZ Mutant Genetics, and again, one of the favorites. These TERPYZ have always, we've grown out TERPYZ last season, we grew out a TERPYZ this season. The TERPYZ genetics have been spot on and just looked absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, she has 40 tops on her, and she's looking really, really good. Look at the one that's getting smashed in the front here. It's just getting smashed by the tent. It's a little smashed on that side, but she's. But look at these. Here's one that's gone down a little bit. Now you guys, look at the size of that honker. See, can we get that? Get a good. You can kind of see it's a big honker. That's going to be a big bud. We've got a couple that have gone down a couple nodes, but you can see they're up a little higher in the tent, and she is doing great. Now she's got a lot more pistils still showing, still getting big, still
More,
growing, still looking good. Oh man, and these things look so crowded because there's so many leaves in the canopy. But you got to remember, and this is the way I see it, maybe I'm completely wrong. In the comments, we've had guys talk about stripping leaves. I want to leave the leaves in because I'll tell you what, those are
solar panels.
Solar panels for all the nutrients, all the growth, everything's getting used. I don't know. I'm really a big fan of leaving some leaves because these leaves are sticking out. Look, leaves are sticking out over other leaves, but you know what? They're all trying to get some light. So even the lower buds, if you see some lower buds here, they got leaves that are sticking up, trying to get some light. They're all doing really well in this tent. Mrs. Grow Daddy's favorite, by the way. The other girls don't like when I say that,
You gotta stop saying that.
She's the favorite. She's the favorite.
I try not to play favorites.
I don't think she's my favorite. I think my favorite is down there on the end. If we're going to start calling favorites this season, I'm going with Ivy, that big old huge monster down there. And speaking of monsters, let's go take a look at tent 2 where the big monster is. Tent 2, let's go check it out. Come on. Hey, looks like we made it. Yeah, we did. We made it to tent 2, you guys. We're in tent 2 now, and we're going to go check out the girls. And on the left side, we have Sage, our Chemy Lemmy from Nectar Genetics. She's a little smaller, and on the right, we have Ivy, who's the monster in the tent. She's a Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds. We have 2 Shiskaberries because so far, the Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds, the Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds is my favorite plant that I've grown so far. I'm kind of chasing the dragon, but we'll see if they come out the same. Let's go take a close look at Sage right now, and we'll talk a little bit about her and see what she's doing. Hello, Sage. Sage is our Chemy Lemmy from Nectar Genetics. And I got to tell you something. She has 41 tops on her, okay, you guys? And these tops might be a little smaller than the other girls, because she's a smaller plant. So we really take things up to the top with these runts. And we always get probably over 4 ounces of really, really dense, top shelf A bud off of these runts. It's just because they're smaller doesn't mean they don't produce. Over 4 ounces, anybody would love to have over 4 ounces of dense bud, wouldn't they? Let's take a look at the whole plant though. Real quick, you can come back up to the top, Mrs. Grundy. What I want to show is what the girls are doing, okay? The girls have all been making comments, and starting to tease her because kids are so mean to each other. They're using the R word with her, okay? They're calling her the R word, you guys. But to be quite honest, she's holding her own and she's not accepting the fact she's normal.
Like she's not doing
I wouldn't call
weird
her normal.
shapes.
I wouldn't call her normal. But I would say her buds will be every bit of normal, except a little smaller maybe. We're having to trim those all the way up to the top because she's just consuming less nutrients.
Yeah, she's just small. She's not deformed in any way.
Look at the sugar on her. Are you kidding me?
She's beautiful.
Those buds are going to be just absolutely dense little golf balls. In fact, I could actually take one of those off and probably play golf with it. It's going to be so dense. But I'm not going to. I'm absolutely not going to. She's absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look at the star in the whole grow. I think oh man, she's absolutely beautiful. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. Let's go check out Ivy, next door neighbor here in the tent, our Shiskaberry. Come on. Hello, Ivy. Ivy is our Shiskaberry from Rocket Seeds. And yeah, you heard it right. This is our Shiskaberry. We're growing 2 of them in the tent. I'm chasing the dragon because so far, a few grows ago, I grew a Shiskaberry and she was absolutely the best smoke I've ever, grown, cured, and
it was your favorite flavor.
It was very sweet, very nice to smoke. It was just beautiful, beautiful smoke. I don't normally do smoke reports because I can't describe pot very well. Besides saying it's smooth and sweet, or it's smooth and this, or smooth and that. Other than that, I don't. I'm just not up in all the hype. But let me show you. Let me show you what an average bud looks like in this tent. Well, that's not average. That's a little bit, that might be closer to average in this tent. You can see the buds are a little bigger.
They're bigger, yeah.
They're a little bigger in this tent. There's 50 of them, you guys. There's a smaller one right there.
Yeah. She's got 50 like that. I think that's going to be more than 6 ounces.
Oh, I don't like to say that because you start scaring me when I see all these buds. It's larf. I start thinking of larf. Most of the buds. Look at most of the buds. Here's a normal one. See, it's fairly normal size, just a top. The top couple nodes, top few nodes. Looking absolutely beautiful she is. So
let's take a look at her her frost.
Well, you know what? Heather, our other Shiskaberry, doesn't really have the pistils on her anymore. When she still has her pistils. And this one isn't quite as dark, but they both have the same terps. They both smell very, very similar.
Yeah, they do.
Very sweet, very nice, reminiscent of my Shiskaberry that I grew, you know, in season 7, I think I grew that other Shiskaberry. And these Shiskaberries are also a little more frosty than those Shiskaberries were. And we're using, like I said, we try to improve things every grow. We don't know if we're going in the right direction or not, but we really try. And you can always go down our spreadsheet and see what we did differently, you know, in our grows. But it's just looking really beautiful. Let me tell you, Ivy, you're the superstar in the tent. You're for me, you get top billing. You've got 50 bud sites. All your buds are beautiful. And Ivy, or excuse me, Sage, my God, you might be a little small, but you're a spinner. Somebody in the comments called you a spinner one day, and I go, that's it. That's what she is. She's the cutest little spinner I've ever seen. She's absolutely gorgeous. Now let's take a look over here and talk about Fern, because Fern, Miss Grow Daddy's favorite. Miss Grow Daddy's favorite because of the leaf structure. The buds absolutely look beautiful. We're not big photographers here. We're filmmakers here. But if we were to take, if we were camera people, oh my God, the size of this bud right here. Look at the size of that one. That is one of the bigger ones. That really looks good. And then of course Heather. Heather is dark green. She's our other Shiskaberry. Look how dark she is. And her pistils are gone. She's looking, you know what she reminds me of a little bit in the structure of the buds? Reminds me a little bit of Faith. That was in this very same spot last grow. Remember, we had different grow lights last season, so we can't blame it on the grow lights. Hey, that is our weed porn segment. Come on! Hey guys, thank you guys. I just, from the bottom of our hearts, we really thank you guys for coming by and really making this happen. Because without you guys, there's no us guys. That means we're not making this content for you guys every week. We love making the content, and what we love even more is being as honest and real as we possibly can here in the tent. We don't have YouTube buds. We've got Grow Daddy buds in the tent.
We love our community.
We love our community.
Thank you everybody who stops by, watching and liking and commenting. We just love you guys.
Appreciate the heck out of it. The comments. We live for our Sunday mornings with you guys.
Yes, we do. And
I hope you guys are having, like I said in the beginning, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and enjoy the show. We can't wait to see you guys next week, episode 15, right? Episode 15. Can't wait to see you guys next. Because these buds are still drinking a lot of water. That means they're still getting bigger. They look beautiful. They do today, don't they, guys? They really look beautiful. They look on par for where they're supposed to be. We're expecting a very good yield. Our fingers are crossed, because we're always crossed for getting 6+ ounces of plant.
And you know what? If the yield isn't great, we're going to tell you.
I honestly
We're going to tell you anyway.
I don't know how that can happen. But if the yield isn't great, we will find somebody to blame besides me. Somebody. Maybe we'll blame Miss Grow Daddy for the 3 days she watered.
That's right.
Maybe we'll blame her. I don't know. We're going to blame something, though. It's not me. Genetics. Yeah, we'll blame genetics.
Yeah, sure. That always works.
Yeah. Genetics.
That always works.
Yeah, it always works. Hey, love you guys. See you guys next week. I'm out. Come on! Everything for you guys.
Segment.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. Not high today at all, so there's no problems with me fucking getting me. I didn't get high. I want to see what it's like for me to get high at all. I wanted to get high, too. Welcome to Grow Daddy TV Studios, okay. I don't want to take this with me, though.
Where are you going?
I'm going in the garage, grabbing a golf club. Made it? Yeah, you have. You've made it to... Okay. You've made it to season 10 episodes. Not all about the grow as much as... You've made it to Grow Daddy TV. Welcome to... Okay. Forgetting it here. Hey, okay. Hashtag fuck larv. Come on! That was it.
I think so.
That was it.